to Athletics LLC with Lamar, Lucious, Big League Chew, and my man Clyde. You're about to be schooled in all things track and field. This is experience. Yes, sir. We are talking past, present, future. Y'all listen up. Let's go.
Oh, Athletics LLC land. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. If you heard the last 20 minutes of the conversation, you would be like, how did we get here? So just know that you're having, I know, just know that you're getting the better part of the conversation now. So we've pushed record. Let's get this going. Lamar McLovin, how are you tonight, sir?
Oh, I'm wonderful. 2022 is going to be amazing, and I am so happily saying goodbye to 2021 that I don't know what to do with myself.
Chicka, yeah. Sir Lucious, how are you?
Big league, you know me, I am rolling, my dear. Ready to get this done. Honestly, 2022 will be what it's going to be. We all thought 2021 was going to be fabulous, and boy, were we surprised. But so we're just going.
Oh, it was fabulous,
wait.
sir.
We're going to just wait and see what 2022 has to bring and take it one day at a time. How about that?
Right.
So.
Remix.
Yes.
That's what I feel like right now.
Right.
Clyde, how we doing?
Happy New Year to all. 2021 actually was pretty good to your boy. So hopefully we'll just continue that trend and positive.
2022 shall be better for you. How about that?
That's what I'm saying.
There you go. Yeah.
Keep moving up.
Yeah.
Go with that.
You had a heck of a 2021. Yes, you did.
Yeah, I can't complain.
Not at all.
Can't be mad at it. Can't be mad
Not
at
at all.
it.
Yeah.
Last but definitely never least, the governor. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm halfway through. I think I mentioned did I mention what December is for me? December/January is for this household, going from Christmas to my daughter's birthday on the 27th to New Year's Eve to New Year's Day to our anniversary on the 2nd. So understand.
You set yourself up.
Within a week to 10 days, it's pretty high intensity, and we start to bring it down a notch somewhere in the middle of January, and then my wife's birthday is on the 23rd. So there we go. This
is festivities,
By the time you get to Valentine's Day, you got your hands out like this, like the guy on Monopoly on the poor tax card.
Lamar.
But you're just like
Lamar. It is, all of that and then some. Yeah.
It could be poor or genius planning, depending on the perspective.
Yeah, this is true.
Oh gosh.
Depends on the bonus structure of the year.
Exactly. Yeah.
My penance, perhaps. Who knows?
Yes.
All right. Well, on this lovely recording day, we had some bowl games already happen, but let's get to the good stuff. The good stuff. We're talking about the Final Four of the CFP. Not of March Madness, FYI. But what are our predictions? We've obviously not had games that will influence it yet, but you know what I'm trying to say. What are we thinking?
So we're going to take them one game at a time and discuss them. Okay.
Shout out to Bob Stoops for coming off the couch to coach a championship with 43 kids in the portal.
Has nothing to do with the CFP, buddy.
And it's definitely not a championship, but it was a nice moment.
And
I
then
thought it
he
was
hands
hilarious.
off the visor. How about he
Yes.
hands off the visor to Mr. Venables? That was pretty cool.
Yes.
Anyway, let's not get off topic.
Yep. Sorry. Let's go. I'm fired up.
Way to go, McLovin. So I guess we should start with maybe the Michigan-Georgia game, right? And this may surprise some folks, but I think Michigan has a legitimate shot of winning that football game. I think that if they play their brand of football, I think it'll be a very physical game. I'm interested to see if Georgia has, if their speed will make a difference, because I'm not sure how fast Michigan is. But I believe that I think in the end, Georgia will probably win the game. But and this is going to surprise some people. I'm going to pick Michigan in that one. I'm going to roll with Michigan in that one. I think it's kind of like, I think Clyde said it a couple of weeks ago. If not now, when? Right? It's like, like it's just time. Come on. What do you call him? Khakis, Captain Khaki. It's time.
Oh, he's
buddy.
Captain
Time.
Khakis. You know what? I'll take the baton and run second leg on this one. I think I probably will surprise some people. I am going to pick Michigan, and I think I actually have factual reasons for my thought process. One, the one and only time where Harbaugh has proven consistently to be successful is when he has time to plan. Like, if you look at his tenure in college coaching, his records on first games of the season. So think about it. You got the most time to plan for that one, right? His record on first games of the season and his records in bowl games are pretty ridiculous because he has time to plan. Okay. I also think the other half of that coin is going to play into effect. There are 17 draft grade level players on Georgia's football team. So there's 17 dudes who have other things that they care more about right now than this game or any other college football game, in my opinion. So I'm going to pick Michigan because I think they're going to have, now mind you, Michigan's got, I think I saw yesterday, they have 9 draft grade level players, 2 of whom are top 15 guys, but they play defense. And so I think Michigan has a legitimate chance of winning the game because they're probably going to care more.
Oh my God.
That's my thoughts.
I'm so disappointed in you, Lamar. I'm so disappointed.
Wait, hold on. Let me give you my shock face.
Of all the people, how dare you come here and precondition the SEC excuse that we're all going to hear if and when Georgia loses the game? How dare you do that?
What's the SEC right now? 1-5 or 1-6?
Listen, bowl games.
Ooh.
Bowl games
CFP.
Listen, bowl games.
CFP. Stay in the room.
Do not matter.
Folks.
They have never mattered. They are irrelevant money grab exhibitions. I've been saying that for years. So I'm not going to come here and point fingers and laugh when I could, because I'm not a hypocrite. They didn't matter last year, the year before. They don't matter.
As soon as the record button goes off, you'll be pointing fingers and laughing.
No, not at all. But how dare Lamar come here and offer up in advance the excuse that you will hear all over the place if and when Georgia proves to be exactly who we've known them to be this year?
Well, I'm not offering it up as an excuse. I'm offering it as a justification as to why I think a less talented team is going to win.
We would just like to know who you think is going to win the game, Clyde. I think that's what we're asking for here.
Right now I'm busy teasing Lamar because for all the shenanigans that he's been talking all year, you see, Lamar's a very slick individual. You have to decode the things that he says from time to time. What he just did, for all the trash he talks about Harbaugh, what did he just say? Harbaugh's a better coach than Kirby Smart. That's what he just said. That's what he just said.
When he has time to prepare, he is.
That sounds like preparation. That sounds like planning. That sounds like better coaching. So he just said that Khaki Pants is a better coach, and Lucious said that Georgia is faster. And on paper, I guess I don't really know where that. I don't know where that assumption comes from, other than the location of the school, but everybody does. No, I'm serious.
Stop.
No, I'm serious.
Okay,
I'm serious.
okay. That's not my assumption.
No, I know it's not.
Okay,
I didn't say
my
that.
thing is this. Okay, see, I know the speed of the Georgia players because there's several of them who I try to recruit to play to run track here.
I got
Right?
you. I got
Right.
you. I didn't.
So I know
didn't say
that they're fast, and
I
there's
wasn't
not
saying
one
that
guy
about
on
you.
Michigan's team. I don't even know who they are. So
I wasn't saying that about you.
Right.
But,
but so you understand that's why I made the comment. I don't think I know Georgia's faster than they are.
Cool.
Okay.
And let's be honest, the very best player in the game plays for Michigan.
By far, it ain't even close.
Right? Like
Ain't even close.
and it might be the two best players because the other defensive end is really good too.
Right. So that's where I was going to ultimately go. The best player on the field plays for Michigan. The best coach on the field works for Michigan. And the bigger, stronger team is Michigan. So if not now, when you stole my line, Michigan wins the game. Now, Georgia's favored. So all I'm saying is, if and when they lose, give it about 48 hours, you're going to hear the exact nonsense that Lamar just offered up. Oh, we were distracted, or they didn't care. Shut up.
And we'll see if that happens. I mean, look, I'm on the if not now win train, but I would not be surprised at all if Georgia beat them by 20 points either. So let me just put that out there as well. Not at all.
If that happens, it'll be typical Harbaugh. That's what everybody will say.
Exactly.
Okay, that's true though.
So there's your issues. Okay, you got this guy who, even though Lamar has said he's this great preparer, has not, in my opinion, shown to be a championship level coach before this year, right? And then you've got a situation where, in my opinion, Georgia's got to be pissed. They have to be, you know. And the situation with Alabama was the same situation that a lot of people have been. They played the uniform; they didn't play the people in them. Georgia's a much better football team than they showed against Alabama. But anyway, I'm sorry, Governor. I apologize. I don't want to step on your tongue.
So we got 3 votes for Michigan so far, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So on paper, this should be a Georgia win, but I have a very sneaky suspicion that that's not going to happen. I have a very sneaky suspicion that Michigan is going to show up. I would hope at this point no one's overlooking anybody, but you know, when you have an offensive line and a defensive front, I still go back to that Ohio State game and I'm thinking to myself, okay, what did we just witness here? And I think that team is on a high. You have a team that's on a high that wants to win. And then you have a team that just suffered their first loss. And oh yeah, it gets harder from here. So I'm more inclined to think the team that's on a high coming in, if they get through that first quarter and we see some lopsided scores or something, I think we're in for I think Georgia's in for a long night, because it's not a situation, I don't think it's a situation where Michigan can afford to be behind 2 touchdowns. They're not built like that.
Right.
But if they hit them in the mouth in that first quarter and we see 14-0, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, this matchup reminds me a lot of the Ohio State-Florida game from some years ago.
Yeah,
where Ohio State jumped up and then they let Florida get back in and just kind of crush them.
Yeah.
If Georgia gets behind early, they got issues.
Yeah.
And by the same token, if Michigan gets behind early,
yes.
And I think that the biggest caveat in this game for me is going to be the play of the quarterbacks, because I'm not sold on Georgia's quarterback. That's where I think there's an issue.
So there was a report about their second best the safety, the starting safety being out potentially, and now he is there and listed as questionable for Michigan. So we'll see how that plays out. But I'm going to go with Michigan.
Well, since we all picked Michigan, obviously Georgia's going to win the game.
I mean, that is obvious, and in a blowout fashion. So choose. Go ahead and pick Georgia, and you're going to win.
Oh, God.
Now, obviously, with both games, the big question mark is how is COVID going to affect the games? I haven't been paying attention enough to know if there are any serious COVID outs, but I think the governor just alluded to potentially one of them.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. But yeah, you got 85 dudes on Saturday. Like, figure it out.
Yeah, right.
What about, I say game 2 because it's the second game, but it's really game 1.
Same order, I would imagine.
Okay, sure.
Oh, I thought we were gonna let Captain Ohio go last.
Oh, you know what? That's good. Go in reverse order.
In Ohio, that's a new one. That's very creative there, McLovin.
Thank you.
Let the governor.
So I think we should go in reverse order. So.
All right.
That was very original of you to come up with Clyde's idea.
Ohio, I like that. Yeah. The romantic in me. Again, one of the all-time greatest spectacles I've ever witnessed in college football. The Boise State win against Oklahoma. And in my mind, the only variable out there where I can see Cincinnati beating Alabama is that Alabama has not played a team like this. And what I mean is, if they spread them out and go fast, and we're just ripping off plays and plays and plays and plays, there is a chance. However, I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening. I don't see the game being close going into the fourth quarter. I don't see Cincinnati being able to keep up and scoring and scoring and scoring and scoring. I just don't. I don't see it. The romantic in me wants it to happen. I want it to come. I want it to be competitive. I want Cincinnati to show that yes, these non-Power 5 schools can line up and dish it out, right? But I just think Alabama's too good. I think they're, what they did against Georgia. I think it should send shockwaves, and it should let everybody know that Alabama's back. That's my opinion.
Okay. So the problem with this game is the same problem that was in the SEC championship. Alabama has the better coach. Alabama has the better quarterback. Typically, that's enough. Unlike the Boise State best college football game ever.
Yep.
And unlike the Urban Meyer blowout of Alabama when he was at Utah, this year's Cincinnati team, because of issues like transfer portals, has a bunch of P5 players on the roster. Don't get it twisted. This is not your typical mid-major roster going up against a total group of 5 stars. I am 100% rooting for Cincinnati, and seeing as how none of us except Lamar is allowed to gamble on football, I want to be clear. I will take Cincinnati with the point spread for sure.
For sure.
I think it's going to be competitive. I think it's going to be close. Ultimately, I believe Alabama wins the game, but I really hope it's competitive. I hope it's close, because the powers that be will judge all teams in the future by what happens or doesn't happen with Cincinnati. And that's not right, but that's exactly what will happen. So I'm 100% carrying the Cincinnati flag. I just, Saban, Bryce Young, I don't see how.
Yeah.
But if there was ever a team, go Cincinnati.
Well, here's how I see it. The best player on the field is Bryce Young. The next best player on the field has the greatest name in the history of names, Sauce. And he plays for Cincinnati. The next four players split back and forth between Alabama and Cincinnati. And yes, Alabama has a better quarterback, but let's be clear, Cincinnati's quarterback is also a first-round grade. Bottom of first round, bottom of, but he will play on Sundays. Cincinnati's defensive line is as good as a unit as Alabama's. My heart wants to pick Cincinnati because Cincinnati is good enough to win this game. Cincinnati is a far better team than Texas A&M, and A&M beat Bama, right? So like for sure, Cincinnati is good enough to win this game. It's like betting against Belichick in December, right? Like at this time of the year, Saban's just better at this time of the year than everybody else because he spent his whole career being good at this time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this game is close enough in talent to be compelling. I just feel like, unfortunately, Cincinnati has to play basically mistake-free football to win.
Pretty much.
Because if they just knock heads for the first half, the score will be like 7-3 or 21-18. It'll be real close. But it's those mistakes that get made in the second half that, like, we will all expect, and all of the Alabama players will expect to finish the process. And the Cincinnati kids will, as they get closer to the finish line, it's just human nature. They will get tighter if they're in the game. And I want Cincinnati to win. I have no truck with Saban. He may be the most goatish of goats there is out here in industry. But at the end of the day, I just don't think that Cincinnati has enough P5 guys to last the entire fight. Right? Like football is not like boxing where a puncher's chance can work. Cincinnati is going to strike some momentary fear into Alabama. Bryce Young is going to challenge Sauce because he has an ego and he's going to fail. Sauce is going to Deion Sanders the football, and something stupid is going to happen. But there aren't going to be Bryce Young's not going to make that mistake twice. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I just feel like Cincinnati has to play almost, if not mistake-free football, and that's just too much to ask of any team. So in a I don't know if I'm going to say squeaker. I'm going to say definitely within the point spread. I think Alabama's going to win this game.
Wow. Did you just like run around the block like 9 times to get across the street?
No, I actually gave some actual analysis, Captain Cincinnati.
He did his ESPN thing.
I did my ESPN thing.
So anyway,
you could just, for once, give me some credit for some actual analysis.
No, I'm not going to do that. So
really,
thought it was good. I thought it was good.
Yeah. So congratulations. So I'm going to take you back down memory lane, and I'm going to take you back to the Ole Miss beating Florida and the passionate speech by Tebow that just went viral and still does viral on occasion. Now, there was nothing that went viral after the loss to A&M, but I can promise you what was said in that locker room and what's been said in practice every day since then by Saban should be viral. Okay? And when the man stands up and says, "Oh, I'm waiting for you guys to give me more rat poison to feed to my team," okay, that's Saban putting all y'all on notice, right? He's not to be played with. Okay, so and this whole idea that A&M is a lot, Cincinnati is so much better than A&M, I'm not buying that. But I will tell you this: Cincinnati is a very good football team. They are, and make some more faces. I didn't make faces when you were spitting your around the block 9 times.
Cincinnati would dump truck Texas A&M.
Okay,
sir.
okay. I didn't interrupt when you were talking, so please behave yourself, right? So anyway, what I'm going to tell you is this: is that nothing's going to overcome Saban. Nick Saban is no dummy. Bryce is going to be told to leave that dude alone unless you guys wide open. Okay, you watch Saban; he's very clear in what he wants done. If it doesn't get done, somebody else comes in and does it. So when you talk about Captain Khaki having the ability to plan, there's no better planner on the planet than Nick Saban. So whatever weaknesses Cincinnati has, he will exploit them. I'm going to, rooting for it to be a good game. I'm a Buckeye, so I want Cincinnati to have a good chance. And I agree with Clyde that there will be some backlash if Cincinnati gets beat by 40. There's no doubt about that, and that's not fair at all. Right. So I do want the game to be competitive. I'm not expecting it to be, because there's people out there that are talking about how Alabama better be ready. Alabama's not expecting this, expecting that, and I got 2 words for you: Nick Saban.
Nick Saban.
Yeah. Don't underestimate that dude. So I'm going with Alabama.
I'll say this: I agree with you so much.
All on Alabama.
If Saban wasn't the quarterback, if Saban wasn't the coach of Alabama, I would actually pick Cincinnati straight up.
So would I.
That's how much I think Saban matters.
Saban's worth a good 7 points, just like Belichick is.
I mean, so did you guys see today that the report came out that under his guidance, the team decided to not leave the team hotel?
Yeah.
That speaks.
Very Belichickian.
Exactly. There's a reason why those two guys are very good friends, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. We've watched the special. I mean, there's just, it's Saban, and if you don't think that they have heard every day that Cincinnati is coming for you, Cincinnati is this, Cincinnati's that. We've seen some of the little barbs that he throws when he's walking around practice. You can only imagine what he's saying to those guys. You can only imagine what he's saying to his coaches. They will be ready. And I'm not telling you Cincinnati can't play with them. I'm not saying that. But you just can't overcome Saban. I don't know how you do it.
Nope.
Especially when he has the weapons. Because there's only one. I mean, the other defensive backs are good, but Alabama has lots of weapons. I can't cover the whole field by himself.
And don't get it twisted. As much as Saban has carried the flag for the conference, okay, he very much is on the P5 high horse kind of side of things. He wants to curb stomp these dudes to make a point. Don't think
yes.
Exactly.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
I mean, look, if you look at the teams, look at the 2 Clemson teams that beat Alabama in national championship games. They had substantially better teams with more talent. That's the only way you beat Saban at this time of the year. Is you actually have to have a better team. If you come in even, you're losing.
Yeah.
If you come in a little bit, below, you're going to get blown out, because he makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Well,
it's going to be interesting, though.
You heard it here. So expect the opposite, because it was all some change.
Alabama has a wide receiver who's averaging 21 yards per catch. And Sauce has not given up 22 yards of receiving to anyone this year.
I'll play your game with you. Sauce has seen nobody like that dude. I can tell you that right now.
Okay.
No.
I mean, listen, I understand.
Who's he seen? Who is he seen like that dude? I'm not telling you that it's going to be like the guy's going to catch 100 yards, but I'm not going to tell you I'd be surprised if he did either, because the guy's good.
The guy is really good, and I think that Sauce has a chance to be like a first team All Pro as a rookie.
We'll see.
That dude is different.
Wow. I can't wait to watch this game. I might
record
this.
What's bad is it's probably good
Instant
from
replay.
Sauce's perspective. It's probably going to be boring because again, we're talking about Nick Saban. Like you said, they only have one cornerback of that ilk. Why even go there? That's ego. That's literally ego. Alabama has 9 million weapons.
Exactly. Like I said,
why even go there?
Like I said, we shall see. Let's let them play the game. We shall see.
Be the only two bowl games.
Do we
I
all
watched.
agree that
I ain't
Bryce
watched
Young is
one.
that dude?
Oh yes.
I watched one other out that will remain nameless. So
I do think we all agree that Bryce Young is that dude, though.
Yes, he is.
yeah, he is.
All right, let's switch the gears. Let's come back into our stadium. So this is a wordy question. So if you need me to repeat any part, let me know. What are the subtle and not so subtle differences in coaching the 60 and the 100 in the sprints, and then the 60 and the 100, 110s in the hurdles? So subtle and not so subtle differences in coaching those events. Perceived, actual, your theory, go for it all.
Wow.
I mean, the man with the world record.
I'll say that
first.
I'll say that I wrote this question and I wanted Clyde to go first. So there.
Nobody care. The man with the world record is going first. I'm not falling into your little petty trap.
He said no, I'm not.
No, and I'm not falling into yours.
I guess that means the governor's on tech.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
I think because the world record, I think that this definitely deems that I get to go last. So, Governor, have at it, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, evidently you're going first.
Well, I thought about this question. First of all, I'm leaving the hurdles alone. I'll leave that to you, Clyde and Sir Lucious. But as far as a 60 and coaching the 60 as opposed to coaching the 100, it wasn't very long into my professional career, and I say professional career, that I was given a lesson on the difference between running a 60 in the 100 meters and running a 60 indoors, right? And the question was put to me, and the question was, when do you think the fastest 60 meters in history was ever run? Do you think it was run indoors, or do you think it was run outdoors? And I had to stop and ponder for a second. And I'm thinking to myself, well, it's got to be indoors, right? Wrong. Okay. And at that point, I was given a mission to go out and actually research this stuff. And now that we all know, and that is all there, that the fastest 60 meters ever clocked was in the midst of a 100-meter race. It shines a light on, and this again, this is my opinion. I would dare say it's not even about, for me, it's not even about coaching it. There is a mentality that you have to run to the line. And that is where I think our athletes fall into this trap. Now, the way an indoor track is set up, there are parameters, right? There is a line, and for most tracks, as soon as that you hit that line, there's an incline. So from a survivability standpoint, you're not thinking about accelerating past the finish line. And we see it over and over and over again where, you know, someone is matriculating down the track, they make that little zip, you see it, and then it goes away in that split second because they're thinking, oh God, I am going to kill myself. You know, and that's to me is something that I try to reinforce with my athletes. You have to run through the line. You cannot decelerate before the line. Getting to the line is not a winning mentality. You have to keep running through that line. So, you know, so let's just take a step back. So I'm in practice, right? And, you know, we'll set up a cone and at 30 meters or whatever. And then after the third or fourth attempt, I'm watching my athletes race to 30 meters and I'm going, why are you racing to the cone? Are we going to meets running 30 meters? No, we're not. Run through the cone. You have 120 meters of run of track, okay? And it's a very hard thing to get a kid to understand that I am using indoors as a conduit for outdoors. So if I'm coaching you to run to the 60-meter line, I'm literally having to reteach you once we get outdoors to run another 40 meters. So my roundabout explanation, all of that, is to say that I coach my athletes to think that they're running as a means to an end. The 60 indoors is part of the 100. I need you to think about running through the line. I need you to think about, yes, it's going to be scary or whatever, but the minute you start backing off and we're getting close to that line, you're going to find 1, 2, 3 individuals that are running past you because they've been told to keep running. So that's my explanation.
Nice. I like that. That was awesome.
Yeah, you like those things to go around the block 10 times.
You know, listen, some of us like to pontificate a little bit, you know? I am going to be actually really succinct.
This will be a first, but go ahead.
I too am going to defer all hurdles conversation time to the 2 hurdle coaches on this panel.
Right.
Listen, the fastest hurdler I've ever coached at a 42-inch hurdle is 13:53. I do not belong in this conversation, so I'm not going to be in this conversation. Hell, I haven't coached a guy to run faster than me indoors in the hurdle. So, and I only ran 780. So what I only want to focus in on, because the question was about subtleties. And I think that this is one of those things that has always befuddled me. If you are a sprinter, the start is important. I think we all agree to that. It's not everything, but the start is important. And I don't think that it is ever any more important, like on Tuesday, than it is on Sunday. Your start, all of it, the reaction, the acceleration mechanics, all that are important. But for some reason, there is this overreaching thought process that the 60 and the 60 hurdles are only for elite reactors, not even elite starters, only for elite reactors.
Mm-hmm.
And so what that does is, and you see it every time, it puts an insane amount of undue strain, stress, and pressure on the reaction,
Yes,
and the start indoors, when the truth of the matter is, if we look at the numbers, Bolt is a average reactor and a very good starter and accelerator. Notice I didn't say elite, any of those things. Yet he has covered 60 meters from the blocks faster than everybody. So it is always interesting to me.
Not faster than everybody.
Almost everybody. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. Hey, come on now. You're gonna
No,
go
no,
around the block.
I-
Please go the right way.
I'm not going around the block.
This ain't the same.
It is Jesus. What I find very, very interesting, and I do think it is a subtle but massive difference, is how important athletes, coaches, and the general perception is about how much more important the start, and most importantly, the reaction is indoors versus out. It's never made any sense to me, but it's almost like a foregone conclusion that that's true. And I don't think there's anything less true.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, sure. That was not at all succinct, but it was nicely said. It was nicely said.
Put you on the clock.
Oh, I've never claimed to be succinct. I would
say, you know, this is going to be succinct.
I would definitely agree with everything that has been articulated thus far. I'll say this: I really liked the governor's point of view, and it's where my thoughts went when I heard this. I don't think the nuances between 60 and 100 are usually in the coaching X's and O's. I think it's more so found in how the athlete perceives the race. Now, there's a coaching responsibility there to, get them to think about it differently, right? But I mean, I think we've all been in this spot. No matter what you tell them, at the end of the day, they got to go out there and, do things.
Right.
And when I'm training people to run the 100 or the 100 hurdles or the 110 hurdles, whatever you want to say, I'm gonna stick with the 100 for a second. I'm always trying to get my athletes to be patient, not to rush through their processes. In the 100, they're more likely to do that than in the 60. 60 always brings out panic for all the reasons that were just articulated beforehand. I don't know too many coaches that forcibly train things to be rushed in the 60, because I don't like to affiliate myself with ignorant people. But you see it play out in races all the time, right? Somebody jumps out, everybody panics.
Yep.
It's a playground shuffle to the finish line. The best 60 I've ever witnessed just happened. Go find the side angle Tokyo video of Su Bing Tang's 100-meter semifinal. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it is phenomenal. It is art. You'll probably never see that in a 60-meter dash. But for these exact reasons. So for me, the nuance of it is trying to work on the mentality of the execution of the race and try to get these people to understand that your best possible attempt at a 60 will be to mentally treat it and execute it like it's 100. Now, when it comes, since everybody's waiting on apparently me and Lucious to say something about hurdles, he's the world record holder. I got a medal one time in the 60 dash, right? Coached the medal, I should say. Let's be clear, I ain't running. Because there's barriers in the way, I don't want the changing, like, I don't want them to hurdle differently, right? But there's something to be said for only 5 hurdles. So we spend no time during indoor thinking about the end of the race. It's all about being at your best touchdown, at your best acceleratory point, coming off of 4, going through 5. We shouldn't be declining at that point in the race. It should be all pedal to the metal, going straight through. And, most hurdlers, I don't really see the hurdles in the 100 as far as the arc of, start, acceleration, top end, and deceleration. I don't really see that much different. You're gonna start to see fall off in the 110s, 100-meter hurdles around 7, 8, 9, 10. So 60's way back behind that time. So for me, I'm trying to go from 0 through the 60, like we have better things to do later on. And I don't coach them to look at it or to look at it as a different race. I spend a lot of time preaching patience, and as the governor said, trying to work on the mentality of the athletes, because they absolutely turned into a playground shuffle.
For me, I don't coach the 60. I don't coach the 60 hurdles. I coach the 100. I coach the 110 hurdles, because you can't get to 110 without getting to 60, and you can't get to 100 without getting to 60. So this time of year, we're working on being the best 110 hurdler we can be.
Yep.
We're working on being the best 100-meter guy we can be, because we have to cover those things. I think that I feel like if you just make it about the 60 hurdles, you're gonna have a harder time transitioning later. That's just my opinion.
Yep.
But if you're working on being a great 110 hurdler, you're going to be fine at 60, because if you break it up the way you do the 100, then the max acceleration or your best segments are going to happen between hurdles 4 and hurdle 7. So if those are happening on the way to 110, then you're going to be okay at 60.
Yeah.
So the nuances for me is that I think people talk too much about the 60. I totally agree with this, the reaction time thing. I think that's the most overblown and it's too much talked about statistic in the history of running. And I also believe that, as the governor pointed out so well, is that a big issue with the 60 indoors is the facility, right? There's a reason why people run fast in the 60 at Birmingham, because they don't have to run up a bank.
Exactly.
Right?
It is.
Hey, the bank is cold-blooded. The bank
is.
Exactly. Because I can promise you, if you get rid of the bank at Arkansas, they're going to fly on that.
My goodness.
Okay. And even if you take that barrier at A&M and push it back another 10 meters, because that thing's close still. Even though it's not a bank, it's there. And so so I think that those are some mental things that prevent even though very well coached athlete from executing that well. When it comes to the hurdles outside, because of the momentum that's created, it's almost the same issue you have with the 100. When you get past 60, now we're talking about maintaining. So in the hurdles, it becomes a spacing issue. And if they don't manage the spacing right, that's going to cause deceleration.
Yeah.
So why I think you got to start that as early as possible. So those are my subtle nuances.
Lucious,
McLovin.
Because you have a bona fide unicorn on your hands, I've never had a hurdler start to get too close to the barriers in a 60-meter race. It always happens after the fact. Grant might be someone who's capable of that because he's just that freakish. Has he ever had I'm too close that early?
Like hurdle 2?
Like 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yeah. Like so like, which is again why we have to spend so much time with him creating space, because of his size, because of the speed. We have to start creating space. Like we have to start creating space from his initial movement from the blocks.
Okay.
And so and that's an issue. And I think for the non-unicorn, usually the issue is they want to get too close to 1, right?
Yes.
So creating the proper spacing at 1. Yeah. So you can create. So I think, and I would like my high school coach told me this, obviously years ago. I'll say this, I know you guys have to, that the approach to the first hurdle establishes everything right about the race or everything wrong about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
two things of note. One, I've come up with a new term for Grant because he's a unicorn in a room full of unicorns. So I call him a uniclops. He's a mixture of a unicorn and a cyclops.
Oh no, we got it.
We understood.
Yeah, but remember, not everybody that watches our show is as smart as we are.
They're not all Cal educated.
2, fun fact. Ronnie Baker has run 6:40 in the 60, and he is a poor reactor. He's a superb, actually, I think Ralph Mann said elite accelerator, but his reaction times are Allison Felix-esque.
And so, let's even talk about Allison. I mean, she's run 10.8.
Yeah.
Right. So is the important thing to be a great accelerator or to be a great reactor? I have never talked to anybody on my campus about reacting.
Meaning?
The thought is, I just want you to think about what you're going to do when you hear the gun and just do it. That's all I want you to do. Because I promise you, because the people that are trying to react, the ones like the governor said, they're rushing everything. And go ahead and rush the first 3 steps. That's going to show up right around 60 meters, right?
Right.
Right around 60, if not before.
Well, that's the proof of it, right? Like whether you're talking about the hurdles or the 60 dash, if you screw up 0 to 10, you're gonna be decelerating well before 60.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's not about your ability to run top end. You screwed that up way back there.
Because people talk a lot about max acceleration at between 30 and 60. If you don't take care of 0 to 10, there is no max acceleration. So 0.
Yes.
So yeah.
You guys just busted all strength and conditioning coaches.
McLaughlin, good job. Great question. Great question.
Because I don't know if you've seen this, it's a phenomenon being posted on social medias, the Instagram, the Twitter, strength and conditioning coaches training reaction time, right? And so they're doing.
I'm sure it can be trained, but that doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah, exactly. So
Justin, we've had this discussion. There's a lot of things that are being trained that are right.
Right. The intention. What is your intention? What is your purpose? Okay. So talking about the indoors a little bit, we're going to keep diving deeper in this pool because it's upon us. We're getting the whiffs, hopefully keep getting the whiffs of this indoor season. What records in the NCAA indoor season, specific bubble that we're going to stick in, do we see challenged or broken in this upcoming season?
One at a time, people.
Because swipe or no swiping.
Swipe or no swiping. Swipe or no swiping.
Fine. I'll jump in first and take the easy one. Okay. Abby Steiner's going to break the 200-meter record. And I'm out.
Yeah, that is very, very much so the low-hanging fruit there, right?
I'm out.
So that is not a challenge. That is a prediction of that one's gone.
No, that is
all right.
Mr. Lamar.
I believe that this fruit is not even hanging. I think it's actually fallen on the floor. I believe that the women's collegiate record in the 4x4 is also toast.
Now that's actually really interesting. Remind the audience and me, what is the actual indoor record?
You know that's Chu's department.
I'm getting there.
326.
That's
right.
It's an a thing mo record.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it interesting.
It's 326, if I'm not mistaken.
326.
326.2 or something like that.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm not gonna let Lamar off the hook that easy. If you're gonna step in here and take the GOAT off the record books year 1, I'm gonna need to know who.
Okay, this is gonna be.
I'm gonna tell you that I'm not gonna give you a who because there are at least 3 teams that I think if they refuse.
Wow.
Hey, no, I think you should give them to
3. You ain't even got to be right.
I think you should give them to him.
I know that's what you think. I appreciate that.
326.27.
326.27. And we can't get the 3. We can't get one of the 3.
I'm going to say that there are a couple of schools in the Southeastern Conference that have absolutely and positively earmarked that, checked the box, and highlighted it as something that needs to go down.
All right. It's lame, but all right.
Listen, it wouldn't matter what I said. I could have told you all of the people who were gonna do it and their birth names and birthdays, and you still would have said it was wrong. So you're not gonna goad me.
No. I'm saying in the spirit of the question, if you pulling out a record prediction, shouldn't you say who's gonna get the record?
No. He does have a point there.
Yeah.
McLovin.
Okay, fine. Florida.
Cool. Bet.
Because I know Captain Petty just wanted me to say it.
I legit want to know who the other two teams are, but
I'm not going
I'll
to tell you
take what I can get.
I'm not going to tell you that.
All right.
But I do firmly believe that.
I feel you. That's cool.
All I can hear in my head right now is Shelly Shell. It's going down. That's all I can hear.
Go ahead, Governor Lucious. He's wrapping up some notes for us or something.
No, I'm hearing those two records. Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. I think if athletes stay healthy, and I mean, and perhaps this happens before we get to nationals. That's even possible. But I had a question. What is the triple jump record, the women's triple jump record in the NCAA?
It is 1427. Miss KO.
Who's that?
Miss KO Katura.
Katura Orgy. I could told you that one.
Dare I say that's going to go? I have a feeling that's going to go. That's
you got check your text messages.
Okay.
And then you'll understand why Lamar made the comment he made, because that record is not as tough as you guys think.
Wow.
Oh, I don't think the record. Okay, let's be clear. Compared to the outdoor record, the indoor record is soft. The indoor record is soft compared to the outdoor record. I just needed Lamar to give us the name.
So yeah, I'm gonna ride with the triple. You know, and it's as much about between, I'd say, New Mexico, Clemson, Arkansas, you know, any of those runways are magic carpets, you know, and so
here's the thing. I'm not sure who you think is going to break it, but will they get on those facilities when they're ready to break it? Because
that's the question.
The some of the conference meets and the national meet aren't on jumper friendly facilities.
Yeah. So again, you know, right weekend. I mean, we saw some crazy stuff in empty stadiums. I cannot imagine what's going to happen. You know, if we get the right environment, I just think that record can go.
This one might surprise you guys. I think the men's 400's in jeopardy.
Whoa.
World record.
Absolutely. The world collegiate record is in jeopardy. I honestly think that Mr. Ross is very capable.
Okay.
Because he ran 44.9 last year before going outside and running 43.8.
Yeah.
And he came back to school because he wanted to make himself more marketable.
Yeah.
What better way to make yourself marketable than to break the collegiate record and world record indoors?
That would be a hell of an opener.
And the caveat there is, it's probably got to happen before nationals. I'm not sure that track's conducive to it either. So
I don't see that going down in Birmingham.
No,
exactly.
They have the luxury.
I've never seen a fast 4x4 in Birmingham ever.
They have A&T has the luxury to pick their spots. So you know, if he's ready to do it, they can do it.
And you want me to go back, start another one, or y'all want to go? Okay.
Either way.
Okay, so I think the women's 60 hurdles is in jeopardy as well.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Which, let me say this. Of all the records we discussed thus far, that one would be the most challenging and the most impressive if it went down.
Right.
That is Brianna Rollins'
see,
magical season.
Yeah.
773.
778, I think it is.
78. 78.
Yeah.
That,
see, the thing with that one is there's so many good ones, right?
Yep.
And I see in them now because there's no bank and because there's no wall.
Yeah.
Birmingham.
Yes.
That could be, that's where 735 happened. And I told people if he breaks a collegiate record, it's going to happen in Birmingham because he can run freely through the line.
Yeah.
Birmingham straight away is special because of that. So I think that
straight away in Birmingham is rolling. The bank
is
whatever.
Yeah. So look for that one too. I'm not saying it'll be broken, but I would not be surprised to see some more than one young lady go under 785.
Can we get some names?
I mean, like Brissett at Texas.
Wait, Brissett still has indoor eligibility somehow?
Yes, she does. Indoor and outdoor. Okay. Oh God. There's a young lady at USC that's run the 8.0.
Miss Jones?
Yeah, there's a young lady on my campus that's run 791 already.
Dark.
Yeah, there's some people out there, yeah. There are some people out
there. And Baylor still.
Oh yeah, Miss Nugent's back. My bad. She's run 791. Yeah. So again, so you get just think about those four, and there's others. I just don't have them in front of me. But you get those four together, and they lock horns, and it's a clean race. It could be monumental.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
He took
my. I apologize.
So before somebody else takes my backup. Not at Nationals. Where's SECs?
Texas A&M.
Men's 200. Stephon Belay can do it.
2002.
If he can get himself in the right lane, which is all up to him.
Yes. Yeah, because see, remember that, and the caveat about that is he and Matthew Bowley will hook up there. So either one of those could take that down. If they both run clean races, yeah.
Right. If Big Joe's in 3 or 4, it ain't happening. But
no.
Get himself in the right lane. I think he can do it.
Yeah. I think for him to run that fast, it's got to be in lane 5.
Yeah.
I'll go, and I will actually be incredibly succinct. Women's pentathlon collegiate record, Anna Hall, done. There. Now you happy?
I am.
You want me to tell you where it's going to happen too? No, I'm just kidding.
I am. That
yeah, please do. So I can write it down. Make sure
He's ready for
you're
it.
there.
Yes, I can be ready. Yeah, make sure I'm there to watch that. Yeah.
Does the governor have another one, or anyone else? Because I have a special one.
I just had a gander, and because 859 long jump, no. 1750 triple jump,
No.
High jump, forget about it. I mean, 6 meter pole vault, no. No, I think the events that we've spelled out are, I can see those happening. And I think the prognosticators we know who they are. So, it's going to come down to, proper planning, being ready when the time is right, and taking advantage of it. Not just, okay, you feeling it today? Go ahead and take it. Like, don't hesitate. So,
Lamar
excited.
He has another one. He bet not take my special. Go ahead.
I mean, I'll be honest. Like I didn't say this one because I just figured somebody else was going to. But how does the men's 4x4 record last through this year? Like I just don't see. I don't see how. Like I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't see a scenario where the men's 4x4 record isn't broken this year.
By who?
Sure. How about that?
You had him for one round. You had him for
A&M,
one.
A&T, Florida.
Didn't A&T lose their number one relay guy?
I mean, no, their number one relay guy
is Ross.
Is
He's their best,
world
he's
record.
their best open dude, but a lot of people, and even at nationals, just Trevor Stewart split past him, right?
Yeah.
No, not outdoors. He did.
Okay.
Outdoors he did. And matter of fact, I don't think he did indoors either. Ross, because remember Ross, they were behind, and Ross put him back. He brought him from
Stewart
third
is
up
most
to
definitely not on the roster.
No, he's not.
He's not on the roster.
He reloaded pretty nicely though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, Ross and the Pips always have a shot. Let's just call that what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so is that the prediction? Is it A&T breaks the record?
No, because like I said, I think there are a multitude of teams that are going to be at or beyond that record. And when they race, like I'm not picking who's going to win.
Multitude at 3 flat?
I mean, three flat, unlike the women's record, is not soft.
I'll name three schools.
The indoor 4x4s last year, time-wise, were pretty lame.
I'll name 3 schools. And I will say this. The one thing that I think helps the men's 4x4 record stay is where the national meet is.
That's fair.
Well, it don't have to
because if the national meet is on one of the fast tracks, then literally I would bet all my money.
But it ain't got to get national.
Because it's got to, yeah, but that's the point, is that it's going to have to get broken before nationals, which is just different. But I still think here's the
thing I'll tell you. Remember this: the weekend that will determine a lot of this is who shows up in Fayetteville and who shows up in Clemson the last meet before conference. Mm-hmm. That weekend will be huge. I don't know who's going where, but the teams hook up that weekend. Because remember, if you go back to 2018, when all this shenanigans happened,
everybody was
USC, us, and A&M all ran 301 and 302 low. And then we all hooked up again, and that's when they ran 3 flat, and the other 2 teams ran 301. So, but that all started at Clemson the weekend before conference.
Right.
Very rarely does it happen at the conference meet.
Yeah.
But A&M's got a very good men's 4x4 on their campus. Mm-hmm. And the conference meet is at A&M.
And a new transfer that ran down the field.
Like I said, they've got a very good 4x4 on their campus.
Exactly. Like you asked me for teams, and you cannot tell me that A&M, Florida, and A&T don't have legitimate shots at running 3 flat or fast.
So because he keeps throwing us out there, the guys who finished 3rd, 4th, and 6th at the indoor national championships are on the Florida roster this year. That's why he's saying that.
Oh, yeah. I just want him to say it. He's doing all this dancing. So
but I'm not doing dancing. I just feel like, listen, he's my guy. He's not a braggadocious guy, but I'm going to give an honest answer.
Since McLovin doesn't want to put his big boy pants on, I'll just go ahead and do it for him. So here's my special indoor prediction. I need an answer from Chu, though.
Okay.
Because this is more instinct than anything.
Oh.
Chu.
Okay. Yes.
Do you know, is it? I believe the indoor women's scoring record will be broken.
Oh.
I need to know what it is, though.
Okay.
The all-time record, the highest score,
highest point total indoors for the women. I think
I feel like McLovin should know this. He's smiling like he
he should know it, but he over there like, I think Oregon.
I think it might be LSU.
This is fun to watch, so that's why I'm just sitting here listening.
Well, sir, do you know the answer? You can save us some time.
He's not going to tell you.
I'm not going to tell you.
I'm not going to tell you.
But I do know that if you say another team than the one that's in my head is going to break it, that you're high as a kite.
I just need to know the number.
It's not coming out quickly.
Chew. The computer is failing Chew right now, and
I
Lamar's
know.
over there being petty because he knows the answer and won't give it to us.
Hey, I have to teach you to fish. I can't give you a fish.
Look, man, I'm the one stepping out with this.
Ooh,
That's why I make sure my count is accurate.
There is a reason that when Sir Lucious throws out these internet challenges, that he always throws out the caveat that I can't play.
Keep your mouth shut.
Listen, I can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday.
Chew, all
but
you gotta do is pull up the list of the indoor champions and scroll.
Right.
That's what and they don't have it in order. It's literally just all of them listed. It's Oregon with 67 points.
Okay, I thought so. That's the team I was thinking of. I believe that's the Phyllis Francis.
Oh,
Oregon.
yeah.
67, that goes down. That goes down.
67 goes down. Hold on. Let me do some quick calculations.
So
unless
so
COVID
trivia,
unless COVID ruins it, 67 goes down. University of Florida women.
Trivia. What's the highest men's score?
Is that's Oregon again, is it not?
Nope.
No.
That's Arkansas.
And this, yes. And what was it? This will. I don't think this will ever be broken.
Like it's like 90 or something.
I was about to say it has to be 90.
94 points.
94 points indoors.
Indoors.
Yeah, no, that one's safe.
Never.
What year was that?
That was 1994.
They scored 94 and 94.
Yep. In Indianapolis.
That should be on a t-shirt somewhere.
That's like when the 88 UCLA team had clinched the outdoor men's meet after day 2 of a 4-day meet.
Yeah.
They had 83 points after 2 days.
Incredible.
So yes.
They also had like 700 Olympians on that college track team.
700. Yeah.
Okay.
Indoor women's scoring record goes down. Gators. COVID, don't screw up my season.
Let's see. I'll give you that.
Carry the 2. +9.
Coefficient of 7.
I'm waiting for this
divided by pi.
Pythagorean.
Oh, I forgot about that event. No, he's right. He's right.
Okay.
Because, let's see. 44, 54, 64. I have 80 and I haven't finished the meet yet.
Oh, stop it. See, we're not doing this anymore.
I didn't say that. All I said was 67 was going down.
Thank you. See, and then okay. So, yeah. Appreciate it, McLovin.
Oh
goodness.
Listen, I'm not wrong on that. Now, there's always attrition at the meet, right? You know, think about it. If I got you at 80, you have a 10% attrition, which is actually not very good at all. You're still at 72.
Can we move on to the next question?
Yes. Let's talk about some more earth-shattering news. And it's not so earth-shattering. Mr. Warholm has discussed moving himself into the 800-meter run. Let's call it sprint. Let's be nice. Has he reached his ceiling in the 400-meter hurdles? Does he have the talent to run 141-ish to be relevant?
Well, I'll take this one. I'll take this one. Okay, so I want to say this. Now, there is a very likelihood that he has reached his ceiling because it's not uncommon for people to do crazy stuff like that and you never see it again, right? So that's not, you go and look when people make those big jumps like that in a single season, it's not uncommon at all for them to never even approach it again, right? So that part of it, I think, is very, it might even be likely, right? The other part of it is he's got this guy nipping at his heels? Does he move to another event? Or is he just running his mouth? I think he's just running his mouth. I don't think he has any thought really of seriously going to the 800. Lamar and I discussed this a little bit before, and he doesn't have to run 141 to be relevant. He can be run 143 to be relevant. But I do think that if he decided to do that because of who he is and how he conducts himself, there's no doubt in my mind that he could run 143 because he would just will his way to it. I don't think he will. I don't think he should, but I do think it's almost likely that he'll never run 45 seconds again, to be honest with you.
All right. I'm just going to get this off my chest and I'm going to bow out. I have Rai Benjamin is my favorite male athlete in the sport right now. But I've said on this show before, and I will continue to say it. Carson Warholm today is the greatest of all time in that event. I have nothing but respect for that man, and I would lose a lot of it if he made this shift, thereby ducking Rai Benjamin and robbing us all of currently the best spectacle that we have, which is those two dueling in that event. I don't care if he can run 143. I don't care if he can run 141. I don't care about any of that. He's crazy. He probably will figure out a way to do whatever. But that would not be remotely as close to entertaining as watching him do what he does in the 400 hurdles. And it would literally rob our sport of something that we really, really need, which is legitimate, bona fide rivalries at elite level. I would consider that a punk ass thing for him to do, and purely out of fear. And I don't believe that he is that dude. So I think he's trolling everybody. I think he is trolling the track world with this mess. It is mess. Will he go out and run some 8s? Sure. He does that in training any damn way. I'm just saying, please, sir, do not do this. No one cares about this. No one wants to see it. Don't do it to us. I want to see Rai Benjamin, Carson Warholm, round 2 in the cathedral.
Yes.
And can the boy go faster than 45.9? Yeah. Because if he needs to, he will. He has proven that much. Do I think he can beat Rai at Rai's best? No. But if Rai wins the title and Warholm's not on the track, it means nothing. And I'm out.
I'm right there with you. Right there with you, Clyde. Again, anytime an athlete creates magic the way that Warholm did, and created that "where were you" moment, I'm sorry, you can't leave. No, this you are the headliner. We are packing the stands to watch you do this, to do what you do. And unfortunately, in our beloved sport, anytime someone sets a marker and is still competing and is still in the sport, you have to beat the marker. Like the marker, you set the standard, but you've got to keep approaching that standard. And that is what is so brutal about our sport. And it's unforgiving. And it's the most, for a lot of athletes that aren't mentally strong enough. Yeah, congratulations, 2021. But 2022, hey, knocking on the door, rinse and repeat. That's what we want to see. So for him, whatever it is that he's speaking or moving on to this and moving on to that, on another level, I know for me, if I set the record in the long jump or whatever event, and the guy that finished second was this close to me. I'm not like just saying, oh yeah, you'll never beat it. Are you kidding me? Because you best believe that Rai Benjamin is more than motivated to break this record and to keep that thing going, because he's got that fire in his belly. So again, I think it's all smoke. I don't put much into it. And I look forward to, the fireworks come next summer.
Let me help you, wonderful gentlemen, with something. History tells us what's going to happen in the future. The only other Uniclops that's been out there is Bolt. And he's the only other human being to set a ridiculous world record and then break it. Because let's just go backwards. Bob Beamon, never saw it again. Lee Evans, never saw it again. Michael Johnson's 1932, never saw it again. Just tell me when you guys want me to stop.
Kevin Young.
Kevin Young, never saw it again.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Does he need to see it again?
No, that's you're not understanding.
No, it's not about whether you need to see it again. The history says it doesn't happen again.
History says when you empty the tank, it's empty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here, y'all are gonna think I'm crazy. You want to know the one way that Carson Warholm finishes that when it's all said and done, he keeps the world record in the 400 hurdles? Stops running. Because Rai can't do it by himself.
Hence why I said it would be a punk ass thing to do.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you a question. Is it a punk ass move, or is it playing chess, not checkers? Because he's going to be the fuel for his own demise if he continues to run the 400 hurdles. Listen, I want to see it. So let's be clear. I'm on the same page as all of y'all. I want to see it. But as an agent who has to step back from performances and look at how they are performed and what people pay money for and how you continue to make money when you're done running, Carson Warholm continuing to run the 400 hurdles is going to guarantee that Rai Benjamin eventually breaks the world record and runs something that Carson Warholm can't run.
See, but you started the conversation by saying that more than likely it would never happen. And now you're telling it's going to happen.
It won't happen by Warholm.
But Rai had the same breakthrough that Warholm did.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay, you've been an athlete and a coach all your life. What you do when you're chasing and what you do when you get second is completely irrelevant because you got pulled to that.
But it's okay. But still, it's a big breakthrough. And I would say that if you go back and look at history, no matter what place you were in, if you had that same big breakthrough, it doesn't usually happen again. And that holds true for the whole freaking race.
No, he's 100% correct.
So let's look at the parallel. What's happening in the woman's side right now? Okay. Mm-hmm. Who on this panel doesn't think that Delilah, if she is healthy, is not going to mount an incredible challenge to Sydney?
An incredible challenge is still a second place finish.
Right, exactly. See, and 51.4 is not 45.9.
Exactly.
It's not the same. It's not.
Okay. It's not. See, we're talking about other stratospheres. We're talking about when you take a record to another stratosphere.
Yeah.
Because 51.4, look, don't get me wrong. 51.4 is fast. I didn't say it wasn't fast, right? But it's not 45.9.
It would have to be 49.90 something for it to be the same.
Or at least 50 points.
Okay, so wait, I want to be clear about what we're talking about here. Lamar believes that Carson Warholm 400 hurdles has met his ceiling.
Yes. 100%.
Governor, would you agree with that?
No.
Lucious, would you agree with that?
I don't agree with it that he's met his ceiling, but I don't know if that magic is created because they're both, what is Carson, 24, 25?
Yeah, they're both
and Rise 23, 24. I'm a history major, and history typically repeats itself. And typically when people have those kind of jumps, they just never see it again. Now, do I think we'll see some races where they'll battle to the line? Guaranteed we'll see some battles at 46 and mid. Guaranteed we'll see some battles at 46 low. I'm just not sure we ever get beyond 45.9 with those two guys.
It's the same. Well, the same thing happened in London in that 800 too. Like,
yes, yeah,
he was never the same, ever.
Never, right? I mean, there's lots of incidents like that.
Yeah,
all throughout the sport.
Lamar dropped
at a far lesser. I'll tell you why I said it. At a far lesser level, right? The 1500 that I ran my 13-second PB in, knowing why I was doing it, and it was almost certainly my last, I emptied the tank and whatever else is below the empty of the tank, right? And I'm telling you, if the following year I was in the same level of fitness in the same scenario, I probably don't run 437.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like when you empty the tank, which I firmly believe that 45.9 is in the realm of these elite, ridiculous jumps, like taking the world record from 44.4 to 43.8.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like when you do these things, like it's a whole nother street.
See, and here's the other thing too, that you have to factor this in. We're coming off the redshirt year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going into 4 or 5 championships in a row.
Yeah.
Just from the mental aspect of it, what's the likelihood? And seeing in 5 years now, they're both 30 years old, right?
Well,
or close to it. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's where I was going to go. Listen, we're all Americans. So we want our world championships, the first one ever, probably the last one. We want that meet to be as spectacular as humanly possible.
Absolutely.
Yes.
If Carson Warholm isn't running the 400 hurdles, the meet by default is going to be less than it should have been. So from a selfish American perspective, I want to see that this year. Now, if Carson Warholm steps out and be like, actually, you know, I'm not doing it this year, I'll be back. I call that a smart business decision on his part because he's European. He is a god where he lives. And in case everybody has lost the tally, he's the Olympic gold medalist. He's the reigning defending back-to-back world championship gold medalist. He's the Euro gold medalist. And he's the world record holder. So he doesn't have anything to prove. But for the good of the sport, I am begging him not to do this to us because I don't think Rai Benjamin can take his world record without him on the track.
Right.
I don't believe that.
I just told you he can't.
Because
there's no shot.
We don't disagree on that, sir. But I don't believe that either man. I know for certain Rai hasn't hit his ceiling. I know for certain he hasn't.
Yeah.
I don't believe Karsten has. Now, do I think, I've said this for years, do I think Rai can put that race somewhere that Karsten physically cannot do? Yes. But that doesn't mean that Karsten can't run faster than 45.9 if he had to pursue Rai.
Yeah.
See, here from a coaching perspective, and even from even a management perspective, when I see Karsten, every time he steps on the track, he goes all out. Every time.
Every time.
There's only so many bullets in the daggum chamber. The bullets are going to run out eventually. So I'm just not. Again, this is why I'm not sure that he can do that again, because it's either a fugazi time trial where he's just out trying to run fast by himself, or even in the Diamond League races, it's set up for him to be in his special lane, and he's trying to run a record. Every time he steps on the track, he runs fast. So eventually that's going to wear him down. Whereas Rye doesn't do that.
No.
Hey,
Rye doesn't do
here's
that.
I got a solution. Carson, coach, here it's in Norway. Okay. This is all we ask. Play with the 8, play with the 2, hell, go shot put. I don't care what you do. Run the 400 hurdles in Oslo for the Diamond League because, you know, that's home and everybody wants to see you do that. You're the world champ. You got to pass anyway. Just come to Oregon and run it because the meet ain't the meet if you ain't doing that event. I don't see any reality where Carson Warholm can medal in the 800. Maybe I'm tripping, but I don't see that. And since he's 25, retiring from your event at 25 doesn't seem rational to me.
No.
I don't think any of us would believe that he will, but he has said it on a couple of occasions. So we'll see what happens.
He's trolling. Trolling us all.
Yes.
I mean, I remember the year that that Ashton decided he didn't want to do the deck. He ran 48.6 or something, 48.4 in the 400 hurdles, some nonsense.
48.8 maybe.
So it was 48 in the middle, whatever the hell it is, right?
Right.
It's not really relevant, but it was fast enough to get the trolls excited, right? If Ashton did blah blah, and I was like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, no, he can't break the world record in the 400 hurdles because that would require him to actually focus on the 400 hurdles, and that's a whole different animal. Like, I would totally get Carson Warholm not running the 400 hurdles this year. Like, I would totally get that.
This year, just please don't do that. Take next year off.
By the
It don't
way,
even matter.
By the way, so I just saw this, and I didn't know if you guys knew this. Did you know that World Athletics has a reward for the most consistent athlete? Did you know that?
I didn't until a few minutes ago.
$20,000 award for the most consistent athlete.
How do we define consistent?
So this is news. So they categorized it in the hurdles. So 100 meter, or to the 400 meter hurdles. So that's one category. They had, and they gave it to Femke Bol.
That would make sense to me.
Right?
Absolutely.
Carson Warholm got it for the men's hurdles.
Yeah.
Sprints, guess who they gave it to? 100 to 400. Take a wild guess.
This year?
Fred Curley.
This year.
Fred Curley.
Fred Curley.
Nope.
Whoa.
Think about it.
Kenny Bednar.
Yep.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep. The first
Who got it
200
for the
meter
women?
sprinter to run under 20 seconds more than 10 times in a single season.
Which women?
He should go up to the 400.
Female is Elaine.
Okay.
That was easy too.
And distance, Kip Yegon. They gave it to Kip Yegon. And then Chariot for distance.
Oh yeah, sure.
So this is.
I'm sure there's some numbers involved in all that stuff, and it makes sense.
Yeah. So it's another incentive, albeit. I mean, I'm still. Don't let me get started on.
So I feel like the only way you can give that the Femke Bowl is basically on number of performances.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Numbers on numbers, though.
Yes.
No. What I'm saying is, look, it's literally on literal numbers of entries, because if you look at Sid's season last year, her quality of performance is like 98 or 99%. Like if you look at
did she run after the game?
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like she didn't run enough.
Yeah.
No,
exactly. That's the
enough
problem because
races.
she ran like one race before the trials.
Yep.
She ran the trials.
Yep.
Did she even run a race after the trials, or did she just go right to the game?
Great.
Feel like
straight to the games.
Didn't she run an off event?
Yeah, I'm talking about the hurdles.
Yeah.
When the governor said there's a consistency award, Femke Bowles, my picture popped into my head.
Yeah.
She deserves that award. It's obviously based on consistency of your mark.
Your mark.
The best mark. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
So Is there ever been anyone better at that than Ryan Krauser then?
Well, I'm sure he won.
So women's jumps, Rojas. Men's jumps, Duplantis.
Yes.
Warholm Bowl, Kipyegon Chariot, Bednarek, Elaine Thompson. There is nothing. Wait a minute.
Did they just say field is all field?
Yeah, is what they did.
Now that is robbery.
That is robbery.
That is robbery, sir. But
look,
how many?
I told y'all when they picked the World Athletics Athlete of the Year, the European and track bias was palpable. Because listen, guys, all of you at some level have deferred to my everything trackness in my little stupid brain. I challenge you personally to find a season in any event area that rivals Ryan Krauser's.
I refuse to accept that challenge.
So I'm hoping
I'll
hoping that they just haven't announced it yet, because this just happened like so they just announced the jumps 14 hours ago.
Yeah,
so perhaps there's more. There has to be a throws. There has to be a throws, because it's just jumps. It's not field. It's just jumps. So
okay.
And I don't think we have to worry about who that's going to be. We know who that's
exactly.
Yeah.
Sean Pickering will chime in and let us know. He will, if it doesn't get released before tomorrow at 5. Sean Pickering will have the answer.
and
good looking out,
then
Sean.
look, I know I'm going to sound like a homer, right? But Damian Warner scored 8,900 at Gotsis and 9,000 at the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Not enough to catch on.
What are we talking about?
There's not enough decks.
It's
Bro,
only 2.
A full season is 3.
He only did 2. So
we're gonna need at least 5. Come on.
We need.
You just shot yourself in the foot. You can count that. That's 2.
Yeah.
Oh
hey,
man,
you picked
Public
the wrong
math
event
here, buddy. Public math. Come on.
No, I completely get it, but I like literally like that. Those numbers just dawned on me. The man's season average is like 89.50.
Hey, listen,
but he had 2 performances.
Something.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to do more than just show up and kick everybody's butt twice a year, I guess.
How do they not? Did they give Grant Holloway the men's hurdles thing?
No.
Oh,
I mean,
they gave it to Warholm.
They gave it to Warholm.
Oh, you did say that. You did say that.
Oh my God.
And Grant did have a spectacular. I think he ran 15 races, and his average for the 15 races was 13:08 or 13:09.
Ooh,
he's a bum.
That's sick.
He's terrible.
That's sick.
I mean, that's why
you
he's
tell
Olympics,
Flamingo that his new moniker is the Uniclops.
I'm not telling him that.
You got to make him
if he had a better coach, you know what I mean? He
exactly, yeah. Because he overcomes his coaching quite well. He does.
Right.
I'm proud of him for that.
There is no preparation at all. God.
Yeah, 0.
Sheesh. All right. Well, as usual, we make time well spent in our conversations. So let's loosen up those ties and let's get on the hot seat. So, Clyde.
Ma'am.
All right, sir. Are your seatbelt on?
Sure.
Sure.
Get him, Chew. Get him.
I mean, kind of. Okay. Team Nathan or Team Lawrence?
I'm sorry?
Team Nathan or Team Lawrence?
Okay. Only because you said Lawrence, I feel like that has to be a reference to Insecure.
Boy, bye.
So here's the thing. I watched Insecure season 1 and season 2, and then 3 sucked, so I stopped watching it. So I have no idea what you're talking about.
I am not talking to you.
I have no idea.
You lost at least 3 friend points just now.
So let me give you a better answer on a better show from HBO. I am always Team Carrie / Samantha. Sex and the City.
That's right. You are a Sex in the City. All right. Are you ready for your 10-day contract with the Warriors?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, I feel like, you know, I never truly scratched the surface of my basketball talents. I played AAU. I played AAU travel against some people who ended up in the NBA, you know? So I feel like watching some of these games, there's at least a dude out there that I can get one bucket on. So, me and coach.
In this end of year movie season, what movie are you looking forward to seeing or have you seen?
You know, COVID's kind of crushed my movie going
stuff.
And watching new releases via HBO Max or, you know, Netflix isn't exactly the same. So I will say this, there's nothing that I'm necessarily looking forward to because I'm avoiding theater, but the new Matrix is trash. Oh my God, horrible. You should have never done it. I don't know who's responsible for it. Never do that again. Like, it was so bad. It was so bad.
Are you a snapback or fitted hat guy?
You know, whenever I wear hats, people tell me that I shouldn't be, you know, covering my gifts.
Voluptuous hair.
You know, but I would have to say, if I think about it, the few hats that I do own, they're all snapbacks right now, I think.
Got it. Who has been your favorite guest on the show to date?
Woo! Oh, that was a terrible question. That's the worst question you've ever asked anybody on the show.
That's the weakest question ever. Like,
no, you know what that was petty.
the obvious question is Tiana. I mean, the best guest will always be the best guest. But if I'm gonna put T aside,
clearly,
I would never do. That's actually hard if I have to put T aside.
That was the assumption.
For totally different reasons, for me it's a tie between John Smith for the, you know, just the level of conversation that John brings to anything, and that's my former coach, and the utter hilarious pettiness of JD.
I had a feeling.
So I don't know, but I think I'm gonna go with JD.
Got it.
That's fair. That's fair.
You have been exposed to both. Now you have to choose Chick-fil-A or PDQ.
Oh, PDQ is way better than Chick-fil-A. I'm sorry, I didn't know what PDQ was. I'm not gonna give Florida a lot of props for many things in this world, but PDQ is awesome.
People, when I tell you, he smashed on that food and was
things
so
in
happy.
Florida that I respect jump to another level. Lucious, Gator Track and Field, and PDQ. Anything else in Florida, I don't know. But PDQ,
oh man,
yes, awesome.
You have survived your time on the hot seat in rapid fire, sir.
Okay, so now I would like to.
Oh yeah, just kidding. Dang it, I forget that every time.
The unified question, the question we asked before, that just can come from all three of us, all four of us. And you can just ask that question. You can answer that, and we'll be done. Big league. You remember the question?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
So knowing that your staff is in place, you've gotten settled in, you've got the lay of the land. Given the aura of San Jose State track and field, in addition to the talent that surrounds San Jose State in California for the high school and the JUCO systems, where do you see your program in the next 2 to 3 years?
I would be thoroughly disappointed with myself if my program is not nationally significant within 3 years. Now, that's a loose term that means a bunch of different things to a bunch of different people, right? For me, it's still too early because not one human that we have recruited is on our campus yet. So when this first class is put together, I'll have a more serious viewpoint of what that would mean for me. But we don't get up and go to work every day and, you know, do these things just to get a check and just to be relevant at our conference level. Our conference is very good. A lot of respect for the coaches in the Mountain West, but my vision is bigger than that, beyond that, more focused on the national scene. So, you know, depending on who you're asking, top 20, top 15, top 10, and top 5 are different levels of program, right? And in 3 years, if we're not one of those, I'm going to be really pissed off at myself. How high up that ladder we get, work in progress. We're still figuring things out.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice.
Well
Well,
said, young fella.
Yeah. So let's round out the year with our last heartbeat props. Not to be ended, but definitely of the year. Who are we recognizing? Who are we saying thank you to? Who are we just lifting up?
Shoo, you should go first.
Well, I had one, but I feel like I always do it at this time of year, but I'm going to do it anyway because I am very appreciative of their time. 2 times a year, we have our USATF level education courses, and we've got a course wrapping up tomorrow. And, you know, again, I do this in every June, every December. To the students who devote a little bit of extra time to growth to their educational bases, to their professional growth and whatnot, and, you know, sit and decide that whichever 3 heads they choose to end class to are enough for them to gather enough information to make their programs better. I appreciate you. As a coach who gets some of those athletes passed on to us as a collegiate coach at this point, I appreciate you investing a little more knowledge into yourself to pass on the developmental athletes, to not tapping them out and whatnot. So kudos to everyone doing education courses, specifically level 2 jumps crew. Next.
I'll jump in there because mine is, I'm sure I'm not stealing anybody's. I guess I get sort of like big league at this time of the year. These particular people are always kind of front of mind, and I have never really shouted out this group, but my heartbeat props this week, and you know, I guess a little bit of piece for them every week is to all the baseball dads out there. More so than any other sport, baseball is one where almost always there's some level of father figure son. Sometimes mom becomes dad for these things. So I'm not dissing any women, let's be clear, but baseball dads they're a different group, and they are overly invested. Like, they're not just all in, they're all in and then some. And they all know that their whole job is to like do the job till the kid is good enough to go be coached by somebody else. And then they like, their whole job is to get good enough to where they get fired. And it's such an interesting job title and description that all of these generations of folks do tirelessly, you know, drive little Jimmy to every tournament all over the planet, or fly, drive little Tommy to every single individual, you know, coaching practice or clinic or showcase or whatever nonsense it is. You know, take little Tommy out in the backyard and play catch and throw BP and you know, pick up balls and all those other crazy things. And at the end of the day, it's a thankless, tireless, and, you know, short-lived but highly intense job. So my heartbeat props, the last of the 2021 year, go to my fellow baseball dads.
I'll go next. And you know, this month is a month for giving, for giving, it's a month for shopping, it's a month for family, it's a month for togetherness. And I cannot wait to see what the amount of money that was spent this month, and specifically this month, because what have we just been through, right? And up until December, up until Omicron, we had plans, right? We had plans for this month. And I would say that this country went ham. Okay. Yeah. Now we are in the midst of this. We're in the midst of this wave. I mean, it still remains to be seen how high this thing goes before it falls off. But the frontline workers, and I mean it from the medical field to, you know, little Timmy over at Chick-fil-A, right? I feel for them. And I can only hope that corporations and, you know, I mean, again, it's a hope, but what they're putting themselves through and the exposure that they're going through on a daily basis just to serve up a chicken sandwich or a burger or whatever it is, heartbeat props to them, man, because this is, you know, I was in Austin yesterday, and I had to stop one of the waiters that was serving us, and I said, "Hey, man, are you all right?" Because I could see it. I could see it on his face. I could see that genuine, like, my goodness, like, what is this? You know, so again, heartbeat props to the frontline workers, to the waiters, to the, you know, to the clerks at grocery stores, to all those folks that are genuinely putting themselves in harm's way, you know, to take care of us.
To the guy that runs the line outside the Nike outlet, who has the most thankless job on the planet. Everybody outside is mad at him. He's counting and has a clicker. Yeah. Everybody who goes in, who's coming out, is mad because they've been in a 3-hour line inside the store. Yeah. And he's just standing outside, sweating through his mask to the point where it's like about to have a hole in it. I feel you. Governor, that was tremendous. I feel
I'm going to kind of piggyback on that one. I unfortunately had to recently call an ambulance, 911, for my mom. And when the guys got there, their care, their concern, their absolute professionalism was just incredible. Yeah. And in talking to them about some of the other things they've experienced during this time, and the number of people they've had to help from different walks of life and the things they've gone through. So my heartbeat props goes to all the folks, not just the guys driving ambulances, but in the medical profession, because as we know, things are getting crazy again. Yeah. But just talking to those two guys that day just gave me a real sense of, you know, the state of emergency that this country is in. So my heartbeat props goes to those people and doing those things.
Well said, both of y'all, all of y'all. For me, and I want to be really careful here because this is totally and completely, utterly a selfish heartbeat props, because 2021 has meant a lot of things to a lot of people, and a lot of it hasn't been awesome. But my heartbeat props go out to 2021, because 2021 has been the best year of my life. First and foremost, I have my health, which, you know, is definitely a team effort. My family contributes to that. Our new leadership in this country contributes to that. rolling out vaccines and doing things, in a better way. I had arguably, one of my highlight banner years professionally as a coach. I was very, very proud of the work that I did at Berkeley. Extremely proud of the work that me and Miss Tiana did together, and then landed a brand new, director of track and field job at San Jose State. So from a professional world, my life couldn't have been much better. And then, of course, capping off the year with the early arrival of my son, Kai. So, I mean, for me, where I sit in my world, I haven't lost any of my family members to this horrific pandemic. And so, for my family expanding, for my family's health, for my professional health, for everything that has gone right for me and mine, 2021 has been phenomenal to me. And I definitely recognize that it hasn't been that way for everybody. I respect that, and I'm very empathetic to that. And all I can say is that I hope if you're in a boat where 2021 didn't work well for you, that 2022 gets better. For me and mine, 2022 is going to start off in the same epic fashion that 2021 ended, because sometime in 2022, my son's going to come home, and we're going to try to ride this positive train as far as we can. So thank you, 2021. I couldn't ask for anything more.
Very well said. And I think everyone appreciates knowing that someone had a good 2021 and they can look to that as their hope. So that's super amazing. And I love it. I loved all of that. So, well, as everybody's getting ready to hopefully figure out which pair of sweats they're going to wear on the couch tomorrow evening, enjoy yourself as you get ready for that and listen to us go back and forth and plant these little thoughts, these seeds in your head for the upcoming indoor season. So thank you all for all the well wishes. I have recovered fully from COVID. So you have not pushed me out of the screen yet. I'm here. But
look, you want to do right by the track season, celebrate at home with your people.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on New Year's that is worth that.
Forfeiting the season again. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So with that said, make good decisions, be safe, and we'll see you all in 2022. Bye, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
When the lights come on, the road just get to running. When the lights come on, opponents smash the plumbing. Heard you like it warm, hot, knife the butter. Truth hit them hard, knock them off that rebuttal. Tsunami, tidal wave to your puddle. Tough love, punch you in the arms, little brothers. Athletics, LLC, there's no others. Track and field's pace and we'll peel to go further. Hey, Wile E. Coyote, it's road runners. Feels like you know us, you've been with us the whole summer. If not for this quarantine, these four corners wouldn't be here, but we're here, so start learning. You gotta earn your stripes, gotta get your scars. Show you how to fight, but show us who you are. You lack experience, but still you wanna talk. And who is actually talking to you? Circle's kinda small. Heads prevail when the backbone's strong. Gotta keep it coming, no, it won't last long. Pass it, failed, and sell the sad song. And if you don't check yourself, then that's wrong. Just trying to give you the real that you asked for. So why you keep cutting us off to ask more? We put it in slow-mo, but you fast forward. Athletics, LLC, the task force.